Well, let's talk about something that I have harped about for years and years and years, like I could change anything. School times and the starting times, particularly for high school. Tell me how that went down. I realize there was one board member that voted against it, but talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think we were all on the same page, though, and that is that we looked at our 7:05 high school start time, and we truly wanted to move that to kind of unfreeze. I've been saying it's been at 7:05 for 20 plus years, and there's always reasons not to be able to move it. So we as a district said, let's commit to making some change here. Let's commit, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes. We were able to move it to 7:20. The feedback that we continued to get is that we wanted to move the high school times. Everyone wants to move something later, but nobody wants to stay into school later. And so you push one side and the other side has to go later. So when people started to realize that, they became concerned. They don't want their elementary school children to be either way pre-dawn hours or too late. And certainly our middle school students who currently get home after 4 o'clock, right at 4:10 or so, they didn't want them to be arriving home at 5 or later. So we had all these variables to take a look at. We established a task force with people from across the board, athletics, all grade levels. And so we're able to move the high school times to 7:20, which is quite a big move for our district. But the other portion of the commitment, and let me add, without moving elementary and middle, but 10 minutes on either side. So 10 minutes is not going to be a real deal breaker on that. And the other thing we committed to, because our district has such a rich application and district application program, a choice program, and we're noted for that nationally, and we provide transportation, which is what makes our choice program elite when compared to others. Many districts do not. They have a choice program, but they don't provide transportation, which then takes a lot of the choice out of the parents' hands. So we said this is going to be a beginning. What we need to do is to establish greater efficiencies in the bus routes, and we're going to come back to the board in October and November prior to the district application program in December and January, so parents know what they're signing up for. And what we're seeing is, like, when we're opening up our Seminole, our first technical high school in Seminole, we'll have a vet assistance program there.
Yeah.
We have a vet assistant program in Tarpon Springs, the only one in the district. And we bus students from throughout. So by opening up the vet assistance program at our Pinellas Technical High School, now we'll have shorter runs. Anybody living south of Ulmerton will now go to the choice will be to the Pinellas Technical High School. Anybody living north, they can go to Tarpon Springs.
Okay.
And so we have to build these efficiencies as we continue to want to provide parents choice.
Bottom line, you're moving the time to start high school to 7:20, yet a lot of the studies suggest it needs to be closer to 8 o'clock. So is this going to make a difference in test scores and success? Because isn't that what it really is all about?
It is, and no one doubts that, later, but what was really loud and clear in our community, that they chose not to place elementary students out in pre-dawn hours. Our average run for elementary students for the bus runs is 50 minutes. And so you're taking a look at even if we went to a 7:30, 7:40 run with breakfast, which, by the way, now we offer. And breakfast years ago was not something that's there, but we're getting used to all of these other services. We would have elementary students out at the bus stop anywhere from 6:30 to 6:40 a.m. And with the time changes and the darkness, I just can't. The board and the community just really wants to keep the tiers the same way that they are. That's high school, elementary, and middle school, which is the most common configuration.
And lastly, Linda Lerner said that this was a start, and you just
it
said
is a start. It is a start, and until we build greater efficiencies in the density of the traffic in Pinellas County, reduce the number of runs, and we see, and we certainly anticipate the ability to move the 7:20 start slightly later. Ironically, Al, we did talk with each of the students' rights and responsibilities of each of the schools, and they continually tell us, I appreciate the studies. We want to come to school earlier, not later. The 8:30 starter is not something we're interested in. And I feel like we do need to listen to the customers of the students, of what they want. They said, 7:20 is great, 7:30, 7:40s are great. They said, don't go much later than that.